What is up, guys? It's the Cumberland Dragon here, and today we're going to be doing a Road to Wilderness. MetaZoo's next set will definitely probably be my favorite set, just because it has my favorite guy in it, of course, down here, the Cumberland Dragon. And I'm just going to be showing you guys some stuff. If you've been here a long time, you've seen my previous videos of this. I'm going to be showing you all of my sets so far that I've completed, and we're going to start off with the sample set. I do have a complete Kickstarter set as well. I just have not put it in a binder yet. I had to get these guys from the vaults though, so we'll start off though with the sample set. If you guys don't know anything about the sample set, there's some cool history about it. It came out in, I believe, 2020. They were asking maybe in August of 2020, people who are interested in sample cards. Basically, you would fill out, if I remember it correctly, it was basically you filled out a short response. Basically said what kind of cards were you looking forward to, which would you really want to get, and then you gave them your address and they sent you a sample pack. Let me give you an example of what it came out. So the original sample cards came in envelopes like these. So I'm not going to show you that because that's where my name is. And then on the back, it shows you like the number, like an authentication seal. So hard to see it, but this number is number 49. And then on the inside, it included a pamphlet. I'm not going to read this, but you guys can if you want to pause the video. Came with a stamp and Mike's signature. It's kind of funny because it feels kind of like tissue paper. That's how I can describe it as. Definitely cool piece of history. And then it came with clear plastic wrapping. This was mine. And the cards were in here. Of course I opened it. There are people who still have theirs sealed and stuff, but continuing on, we are going to actually go into the sample set, and I'm actually going to go into the history of how I got it. So this was definitely like in the very first early months of MetaZoo. Definitely, let's see, like maybe the first like 3 or 4 months in. This sample set belonged to someone who had helped the MetaZoo team help it become alive, and I think he was done with MetaZoo afterwards. I think he just helped to get it off the ground, and then he got this sample set as a present for saying thank you, and he actually sold it. A lot of the original people in MetaZoo will remember the sample set. It was on eBay for I think it was like $200 at the time, and to be honest, that was an insane price point. Like, it was awful. Like, well, not awful, but like to us it was just kind of like, it's really expensive for a full set, you know, because these cards at the time were going, like, for example, Sample Mothman was like $5-10, maybe 20 at max. And I know you guys are probably going crazy, wow, that card's worth so much these days. That's just how it was. A lot of the sample cards just didn't really have value at the time yet, because it was just, I mean, these were the first cards printed. And, you know, I offered the guy, I decided, I was like, hey, I messaged him on eBay, I was like, hey, is there any way you'd be willing to go any lower? And then he was like, I think the lowest would be willing to go is $150. And I was just like, screw it, I'm gonna take the chance. I didn't buy it for like money value or anything. I honestly bought it just because I love the art. and now it's a lot. It's worth a lot. Does making it worth a lot to me change the value of what it was when I bought it? Not really. I still have pretty much every card. I have the entire set. We're actually going to be going through that today. So, I gotta figure out the thing with lighting though, but we'll start off. First off, we have this cool sticker by Seb. If you don't know who Seb is, he's one of the artists here at MetaZoo. Alright, so our first page is going to include some heavy hitters. So we'll be going with the hollows one by one. First off is the Aura Battery. So this is definitely an amazing and beautiful artwork by Victor Larson. He is a retired artist for MetaZoo. I think his last event is going to be at Orlando Comic-Con. So please go out there and support him if you can. But here's some beautiful artwork that we haven't seen in a set yet. The Aura Battery. Very beautiful card. I'm going to actually move the light over here so we can get more of the light hitting it. So you can see more of its beauty. I don't know if anyone's ever seen like samples up this close. But I thought I'd just make a video since Wilderness is coming up. Very beautiful art. The colors are stunning. And yeah, we can read what it does. It says fatigue and aura page. Aura battery now stores as aura. Place aura battery into limbo to use this stored aura. Pretty interesting effect. Definitely could see that being very popular. The next card we'll be taking a look at is the Aura Generator. Basically the companion piece to the Aura Battery. Another one done by the beautiful artist, wonderful artist Victor Larson. You can read what it does down here. Place target aura into the afterlife. Aura Generator now generates one aura page represented by a token of the same aura type each turn. Pretty snazzy. And the hollow on this is beautiful. I'm not going to read through all the text at all. You can pause the video though. I'll show it up close so you guys can read it. Next, it's one of the coolest guys around. Got the Bigfoot. Done by the awesome and talented Poncho. Such a beautiful card. Scratches are also on the sleeve, just in case people are freaking out. A lot of these cards are in really good condition. So if you did not know, Poncho's real name is actually on, or the name he wanted to go by was actually on this card. So I think that's why samples are also kind of valuable, is because there's some neat things like that. But here's Bigfoot. Definitely a beautiful card. Then you guys can read the text. Very cool. He's going to be making a triumphant return inside of Wilderness. Next up, one of my favorite Beasties in Cryptid Nation. The amazing Hodag. Wow. This Hodag is done none other than by Kelsey Giacono. Chino. Don't know how to pronounce her name. She is such a kind person though. There. You can read the text. And there she is. You would know her if you don't recognize this piece. The most popular piece she's done for people to know is the Mothman. I wouldn't say the Mothman is my favorite piece of hers, but it is definitely beautiful. Next up is Piazza Bird. Another beauty done by the awesome Poncho. Very cool. beautiful. Such a cool looking holo. Here's the text as well. And if you guys have never seen the set symbol, it looks like kind of like a little star or a little human, or actually a UFO with like a beam shining down. It's pretty snazzy. Such a beautiful card. I consider this guy the Charizard of MetaZoo, but a lot of my friends don't agree, which is fair. We all have opinions. Next is by far a jewel, Babe the Blue Ox. Another beauty done by the awesome Victor Larson. Read the text down here. You guys can look at your cards these days and see if there's any differences. Very cool. Next up is another one of my favorite beasties that I think is personally underrated. It's the Chupacabra by Poncho. Such a beauty. Definitely one of the most known cryptids in my opinion. I've known him longer than most of these other beasties. So there is the text and the name as well. Next up is its companion piece, Bloodlust, which actually was in Nightfall, but it was not a holo. So that's where some of these sample cards come into value, I guess. What I never realized is that in the back it's actually Babe the Blue Ox being eaten, which is so sad, because I love Babe. Such a beautiful holo. There is its text. Another one of my favorite beasties that should be coming out in UFO is by Poncho, the Crawfordsville Monster. What's really interesting about this is that the colors were actually changed. It used to be a purplish, pinkish beastie, but then his colors were changed. Interesting. We're going to be moving on to the next page. Next up, my favorite beastie of all time. The amazing, illustrious Emerald Gem himself, the Cumberland Dragon. This was the card I really wanted the most out of my sample pack. I didn't get him, but I'm still very grateful to own this. This is done by the awesome Victor Larson. Very cool. Next up is a very popular card in 09, the Death Beam by Poncho. Very beautiful card. Definitely love it. It's got a little print line down there. But there is the text too. Very cool. Another card that doesn't have a holo variant in Cryptid Nation was actually part of the theme decks. Dingbell Ringleader. Very cool. This one's kind of cool because he looks like he's snapping with the star. This one's also a very famous one, done by the awesome and amazing Victor Larson. You see the text got the error where the B and the E is kind of or the B and the E are sort of combining. Go. Let you read the text. There you go. Another card that did not have a holo was actually the Dover Demon. He was in Nightfall, actually. He did get a reverse, but did not get the holo foil treatment I think he deserved. And you can see that here in the sample set. There's the text. There you go. We are moving on to another card that did not get a holo foil variant, which is Dragon's Breath by Poncho. Another card that totally deserved it, but got it in the sample format. There's the text. Next card we're going on to is a very popular one that also did not get a holo foil variant, Cryptid Nation. It's the Kushtaka. It's a beautiful card. What's really interesting is that with Cryptid Nation, the colors changed to red instead of blue, which is really kind of cool and such a subtle difference. Beautiful. And here is the text down below, done by Victor Larson again. Another cool card for your Cosmic Beasties is such a cool one. Poncho loves this guy too, the Flatwoods Monster. It's really good. Flatwoods Monster. Such a sparkling shimmer. And then down here we'll get the text in focus for you. There you go. This next guy actually got a reprinted art, or a different art now, because he looked very similar to someone from Pokemon. Can you guess who it was? Giovanni. Yeah. So this is Entered Cold. Very cool looking. It's kind of funny because when MetaZoo first started out, I told them, I was like, hey, this kind of looks like Giovanni. Didn't say anything, but that was kind of funny. Kind of cool that there's a different version now. Very snazzy. Which would make people want to get the sample version. Here's the text down here. There we go. By Poncho. This next card, we do not have a release date, or has not been in a set yet. It is very plausible that it's most likely going to be in Wilderness. The Fountain of Youth. Definitely an extremely beautiful card for those light people. Guys want this for your light deck. As long as you have Fountain of Youth is in the as long as Fountain of Youth is in the arena, you gain 100 life points minus your age each turn. You can apply this. It's really good. So, not sure if it's going to stay that way or if it'll change. Next up is my very first sample that I ever pulled. The Fresno Nightcrawlers by Sagart. So cute. When I pulled it, I was a little upset because I was like, I wanted Cumberland. But I love it. It's so cute and will always remain a classic. Here's the text down below if you want to read it. Then you got the Cosmic Orb text kind of combining. Again, these were pretty common for the samples. Next up is the main protagonist, Sam Sinclair, by none other than Victor Larson. Such a beautiful card. We're going to be getting Rose inside Wilderness. So we got Adam Ackler, Nightfall, we got Sam Encrypted Nation. Now Rose inside of Wilderness. Next up is another beauty that will be in UFO, most likely. Giant Space Brains. Such trippy art. Love the style. Believe this is by Sagart as well. There's the text as well. There you go. MetaZoo hollows are just insane. Next up, we are going to a classic that was one of the mascots for Nightfall. That is none other than the Grim Reaper. Holding a child. Very beautiful. Beastie Eternal. Very beautiful card. By Poncho. Here's the text. Go. Next up, we'll be going to another classic 09, which is Growth. A beauty by none other than Victor Larson. Actually, I could be wrong. I think it was. Nope, I was wrong. It's by Shaban, which makes sense because she also did the Chibi Growth. There's the text. I'm sorry, Shaban. Shaban, you're an amazing artist, by the way. Just wanted to let you know that. The way this sparkles. I can't believe I said Victor. I'm sorry. We'll get you some more time, Victor. Next up is another classic from Nightfall. The Headless Horseman by another amazing MetaZoo artist, JoJo. JoJo Seams. You guys should see this artwork without the holo. It's insane. So beautiful. Such a beautiful card. Here's the text as well. Go. Next up, we'll be moving on to another card done by the amazing Victor Larson. The Hopkinsville Goblin. Another card that did not get a holo version in Encrypted Nation. Very popular. And then here's the text as well. Sorry if my hand's a little shaky. Kind of hard. I'm standing up. Next up is a very popular classic, and shout out to CT, my buddy. We got the Jersey Devil, done by Victor Larson again, and the colors on this guy are stunning. Camera never gets it justice, but here's the text as well. There we go. Next up is Fire Elemental, another very popular one that was in the theme decks, Encrypted Nation, but did not get a holo variant again. Fire Elemental, done by the awesome Victor Larson again. He's done a lot of art, so there's the text. This next page is one of my favorites just because it has some of my favorite cards overall, which means the Aurifacts. Start off with Dark Crystal, or renamed as Blood Ruby in Cryptonation. Done by Poncho. Fun fact, all the Aurifacts have been done by Poncho besides Mermaid Scales, which was done by Giovanni. Next up, Eternal Snowflake. Such a beautiful card. My favorite Aurifact is the one I'm going to show you right now, which is going to be surprising for most people. But it's the Forest God's Amber. I just love the look on this. The colors are so freaking beautiful. I'm also a forest lover, so. Next up is the most popular crystal, Aurifact, the Chaos Crystal. Definitely also the most sought after. Done by Poncho. He killed it. It's very beautiful. Okay. Then last of the sample Aurifacts, we have the Lightning Crystal. The colors on this are stunning as well. By Poncho. Definitely probably one of the most playable, or one of the most helpful cards right now, because Lightning's pretty good. Water's also very good. So, next up we have a huge beast, the Loveland Frogman. A very good classic. This is also by the amazing Kelsey Giacano, who did Moth. Loveland Frogman. My friends are saying that he is basically the Pikachu of MetaZoo, which I kind of decline just because I kind of don't agree, because we do get a lot of promotional stuff that does have Frog, just not as much as Moth, as Pikachu usually does for Pokemon. Next up, it's a very amazing and beautiful card. We got the Men in Black. Very dark. Trying to get it in focus. There's the text. Another classic by Poncho. Next up is another one of my favorite Beasties in the top 3. Done by the talented Ajujoa, the Metal Man of Alabama. Such an underrated sample in my opinion. There's the text. Next up, the Grail that everyone wants. The illustrious and amazing Mothman by Kelsey Giacano. Very beautiful. Here's the text. I personally prefer this art, or the way the moth is centered on this guy versus the Cryptonation one. I think it just personally looks better as this. Next up, is Old Saybrook's Blockhead. Very interesting looking. Kind of reminds me of like Duosion from Pokemon. By Sagart. Here's the text. Next up is one that will be making his return in Wilderness, either as a theme deck or a release deck promo, which is Paul Bunyan, the faithful companion to Babe the Blue Ox. Another classic done by Victor Larson. There's the text. We're going to be running into another 09. Another very popular card, the Ghost Train. It's one of the most expensive cards right now in Crypto Nation's 2nd edition. It's like $18, so. Very beautiful. Next up is a very classic card done by Kelsey Giacono, the Quetzalcoatlus. Definitely a very good card. Everyone wanted to play this deck, so. Next up is probably one of my least favorite Beasties, not because of the art, I just don't like the design. Not necessarily the design, I don't know how to word it. Sinkhole Sam, but done by one of my favorite artists, Ajichoa. Believe it or not, the colors on this are like the most beautiful colors you could see on like an actual Cryptid Nation card. Not here. Here they're kind of not as vibrant, but there you go. Believe it or not, those are the only 2 cards done by Ajichoa besides another one that I'll show very soon. So he's done 3. Next up is another popular card. Well, not a popular card that I would think, but I would think you would think it would be more popular. We got the Tezuric. Very beautiful card by Poncho. And there's the text. Next up, speaking of the UFO set, we got the UFO itself. Another beauty. By Sagart. And then the final card for Ajichoa that I was mentioning earlier is definitely another one of my favorites. My 3rd favorite Beastie. It's the Van Meter Visitor. Another sample card that I had pulled from a pack. You're so cute. Just love the art on this guy. There's the text. Looking forward for him getting love in UFO. Next up is another one by Poncho, Walking Sam. Very beautiful card. Love the purple hues. Another one of Poncho's favorites he's done. And here is the text. Puppet String. Then of course, we will be moving on to the final Beastie, which was probably the main mascot of Nightfall. We got the beautiful Wendigo. And let me just tell you, This card looks so much better in person. It looks way better than the Nightfall one. You can actually see the holo on this, and the colors. There's the text. That's going to conclude it for this video. That was the first half. We'll be going over the second half with the commons and uncommons in another video. This is the Cumberland Dragon. And I'm out, guys. Peace out.